Hi. Hello. Also, don't worry about her. She's taking a sun bath. Yeah, welcome to the Horror Block. I'm Nerd. I like to run a lot of indie horror games. Join me is Slyton. Yeah, you've seen him run My Friendly Neighborhood later in the marathon. In fact, you might have seen on the GDQ Twitter, we did a Runners React together. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I'll be doing Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Just Chapter 3, because this game has an episodic release format going on with its chapters, kind of like Bendy and the Ink Machine or The Walking Dead or something. And as they were saying during the intermission, I'm doing any percent out of bounds unrestricted. Any percent, pretty straightforward. Out of bounds refers to the glitch tech I'm allowed to use, and with out of bounds, anything goes. And unrestricted basically means I'm allowed to cap the frame rate below 60, which is helpful for a couple of tricks early on. I'll also be doing a bit of counting at the start, just to line up some global cycles. So we'll go ahead and start the intro. This game starts off directly where Chapter 2 ends off. Basically, in this series, we're in this factory filled with a whole bunch of haunted toys. And at the end of Chapter 2, we tried taking a train to get out of here, but it crashed. So we're going to get thrown down the trash chute by Catnap, who is kind of the main villain of this chapter. And I'll be doing a bit of counting. I normally we do a 3, 2, 1 countdown with these runs, but we're going to do a countdown from 6 this time, because I need to count to 7 for this. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. So you might be wondering, hey, why did you just wait at the start? There's a good reason for that, because there are some pistons I'll be running on right over there. Those pistons run on a global cycle, which begins as soon as the intro cutscene starts. And by waiting for a little bit there, it lines up the pistons so that I don't have to wait for them to move. Good couple seconds or so saved at the start. And you're supposed to go over here and do a tutorial, but instead I'm gonna tag that checkpoint and run back, because tutorials are slow. So we're gonna do our first prop fly, because that's something you'll be seeing a lot. So I'll just grab this chair real quick and try to hover with it. Hovering on props is very volatile, because as you can see, they like to flail around a lot, so this might take a little bit to get working.
In case you were wondering, this is the correct way to use a ladder, actually.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got out of bounds with the chair, but that's only part 1. We're about to do part 2, and this is the unrestricted part, because I'm gonna position myself pretty precisely on that chair, go to, okay. Accidentally change the resolution 1 second. There we go. Resolution stuff aside, we'll go to 15 FPS, and off we go. I'm gonna walk backwards and jump off the chair. They'll give me a ton of height. So we'll just fling ourselves over there, and we're gonna hit a checkpoint right here. I need to change the FPS back to 60 so that the game isn't super choppy, and we're back in bounds. Yeah.
Thank goodness. I think I could smell the frames for a minute there.
Yeah, but it's not over yet, because we're about to do another one after we do this quick puzzle. Because normally there's around a 2-minute cutscene here where you ride a tram and the game gives you like exposition about why you're here and where you're headed, which is called the play care. It's kind of the main hub of the game. Instead, I'm going to activate those 2 levers. That activates a load trigger. And I'm going to try to hover up with this chair, which again is very volatile, so hopefully it behaves. All right, cool. That was actually pretty fast. That was good. So I hit that load trigger while on top of the tram so that I'm on top of the tram when the next map loads. Because similarly to that first big prop fly I did with the chair, we're going to do another one in this tunnel. And like I said, the prop flies are very volatile. The chair, well, any prop, but especially the chair, just likes to jostle around where you're trying to fly with it. And it's particularly rough on this one, because you have to get up pretty far with this next one. It also likes to do that, it just likes to bounce around on the lip of the concrete in the tunnel. All right, cool, so we'll set ourselves up again. The positioning of the cursor isn't super precise, but you still have to be kind of exact with it. And just like before, we're gonna go and fly. I'm gonna walk backwards off the chair and jump. They'll rock me up in the sky. Change the FPS back to 60 so the game isn't super choppy again. And the entire reason we're doing this is to skip that tram ride I was talking about. It also avoids some minor puzzling you'd have to do once you get to the play care. And as I'm falling down here, I'm going to try to line myself up, because I need to line myself up with that gray dot right there in order to hit a load trigger. There we go. Because that way, there's no invisible wall right here when I try to jump this corner. And we're in the first area now.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Like, the 80% run doesn't do it justice, but there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do in this game. Highly recommend looking at some of the longer categories, like Hundo, for example.
Do you mind if I break in real quick with two other really amazing things?
No, sure.
First, we are past 2/3 of the way there on that Alan Wake 2 incentive, $13,606. And second, we have raised over $275,000 for Doctors Without Borders. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah. All right, so normally you're supposed to do, again, more tutorial stuff. We want to go to the final boss. Yeah, I know, a bit of a jump. But we're supposed to take the elevator to get there, but it's kind of broken right now, so we're going to take the express route, which, as you might have guessed, is with another prop fly. Like I said, these prop flies are very volatile. The props can move around a lot. So whenever I'm doing these prop flies, whether it's with the barrel, the chair, or as you'll see later, a gas can, I'm doing a little bit of camera manipulation to try to steer the prop to go to where I want it. But even then, sometimes it just decides to be a jerk. That actually was pretty clean. Holy crap. So by climbing up there with that barrel and touching that door, I've touched a load trigger, which loads me into the final boss. Just like that. We just skipped 90% of the game. You're supposed to go to like 4 to 5 different... Yeah. You're supposed to go like 4 to 5 different areas, but we just skipped that completely. And this final boss I like to call Playtime Co. Tower Defense. Because what this is it's a 3-minute timed survival section. Catnap, that big cat I was talking about before, he is going to attack us, as well as several fake versions of Catnap, from these 4 lanes that you can see me checking occasionally. And I have to defend myself by springing some traps, like this little smoke column right there. And every 45 seconds, while this 3-minute timer is going, I have to put in a battery in that central terminal, because eventually we're going to defeat Catnap by electrocuting him. And it's random where Catnap goes, so I have to kind of react where he is. So yeah, there's the first battery. There's 2 in the terminal already, so we have 2 more to go. And it's pretty straightforward besides that, although there's a cycle or a pattern that I'm hopefully going to get, because again, it's random which trap or which lane he goes to. So we're hoping for a good pattern here, although sometimes I can get a pattern where he's just very passive and like loops around the arena and doesn't ever go towards me. And it looks like I might have gotten that, but we'll see. Yeah, I think we're getting the pattern where he's passive, so you can probably read a few donations while we're waiting here.
You've got it. We've got $500 from Suave Peanut saying, uh-oh, oh no. And I'm pretty sure that went towards our Alan Wake 2 Do the Dance incentive. Thank you so much, Suave Peanut.
Yeah. Watch Alan Wake 2, by the way. It's going to be super sick.
$10 from Dark Triangle Coffee. You are not coffee. Try the coffee. Do the dance. $50 from Shibuya Gato. It's been a rough day today, but GDQ is doing a lot to bring it back around. You know what would really lift my spirits, though? Seeing Alan Wake do that funny little dance. And Mr. Good Boy sending in $10 to MSF saying, taping my eyes open Looney Tunes style to stay awake for Poppy's playtime. Let's go. What do you say, time for one more?
Yeah, you have about like 45 seconds or so for more donations.
Got it. Kat sending in $250 saying, I woke up at 6 a.m. for this and the dance would be a great way to start my day. Just under $14,000 out of $20,000. You are all doing amazing. Please keep it up. You've got about 30 minutes and that's being a little generous. $50 from Luna Mora. The Alan Wake dance fills me with determination. I think that run might be later in the week, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you so much. $25 from Erosive. There they are, Albert. Faces of Stone. That is a quote from David Lynch, according to the donation. So I hope I got that read right for you. Thank you so much. $50 from Scott and Pam. Show me the champion of light. I'll show you a $50 donation. Doing our small part to get one of the greatest and most unexpected moments of Alan Wake 2 shown at GDQ.
Oh yeah, this cutscene is very loud, by the way, because it turns out he's allergic to fire.
It's okay, little buddy. You're okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But he's going to be very not okay in a second.
You didn't hear that.
Yep, there he goes. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the little arm there that was bringing him up, because of the lighting I used to be able to see Catnap during this fight, you can see the edge of his arm and it's just floating in midair. It looks so goofy. All right, so that's the final boss pretty much done. Yeah. But it's not over yet. We have one more skip to do still. Because after we defeat that boss, there's supposed to be like a 4-minute unskippable cutscene where you get a huge lore dump at the end of the game. But I'm going to do another prop fly, this time with a very thin gas can to trigger the ending early. And I'll go into a bit more depth when it actually happens, because it happens pretty quickly. So I'm going to grab that gas can at 75 FPS this time, not 60. And I'm going to grab that barrel, because what I'm basically going to try to do here is stretch out the hands or the arms of the grab pack, which are these little hands right here, to the maximum length that they can possibly go, to try to get some weird physics glitch with this gas can.
You're here. You've done it again.
So is there a reason you go up in FPS for this one compared to the other tricks where you went down?
Props behave differently at different FPS, and for the gas can, 75 FPS is best. I think I got it. So you can see how when the gas can is falling there, it's very floaty. What I'm basically going to do is fly below this elevator, because the trigger that causes the ending to happen is just below this elevator. So I have to fly below the elevator to get around some invisible walls and then fly up to hit the trigger. So I'm going to do just that right now. And it's as precarious as it looks, rest assured. Okay, that's a little weird, but managed to save it. And what's scary about this is that the entire time at the bottom, there's a death trigger. So if I fall at all during this, it's all over. But it looks like we're safe. Just have to fly up and hit the trigger. Just kidding, I'm gonna bail. Once you hit that trigger, it doesn't matter what you do. As long as you're alive when the ending happens, you're all good. Also, time isn't a little bit, by the way, when the screen cuts to black. All right, time.
Amazing job.
Yeah, that was actually pretty clean. I saw in the layout that was 11.5 minutes, which is super freaking clean. Like, to give a point of perspective with how risky this run can get, past that skip I did where I did that big prop fly next to the tram, the checkpoints don't work. So if I had to reload at all, like if I failed that last trick, I would have had to load a backup autosave. But we didn't have to do that, so yay. So yeah, that was a wild run, my gosh. I think the crowd liked it, yeah. So yeah, while we're in the credits, I want to give a few shout-outs. First of all, Slyton for couching. Again, watches My Friendly Neighborhood run later. It's going to be great. I also want to shout out some people from the Poppy community. In particular, I want to shout out On Trigger, I'm trying to remember, On Trigger, Loman, or LA, either one, and Noki, because they did a lot of glitch hunting for this chapter when it first came out. And in general, like speaking generally, I want to shout out Slyton again and Quincy, who I know is probably watching, because they've been very supportive of my speedrun efforts, Poppy or otherwise. And also, I just want to shout out GDQ for letting me run Poppy again. It's my first time running in person in like 6 years. and it's with with Poppy of all games. When I ran Chapter 2 a while ago, it was already an honor, so it's just an honor to run it again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did all of you enjoy seeing Nerd in person here? Amazing run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Catnap plush on the couch, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Shout out to Catnap for being such a good sport.
You helped me get a good run. Thanks. Yeah, that's. I think that's about it for me. Stay tuned for the rest of the horror block. We have a lot of sick runs coming up, especially on Wake 2. Watch it.
Donate to make them do the dance.
Yeah.